You start your journey to the airport to catch your flight, getting in the car for the 2-hour ride. You choose to take a nap. You arrive at the airport and you go to the kiosk to print your ticket and to check your bag. You make your way down to the TSA checkpoint. There's a lot of people there and it's crowded and it's loud, and you get in the line, slowly making your way to the actual checkpoint. You get to one area and you show your boarding pass and your ID, and you answer the questions to the TSA officer, and they point you in the direction of what table to go to. When you arrive at the table, in a hurry, you get your shoes off and your belts off and your jacket off and the things out of your pocket, putting them in the gray tub, taking your laptop and your electronics out of your backpack, sliding them down the conveyor. The TSA officer asks you to step forward and to walk into the machine. You walk in, you take the pose of the jumping jack, and you hear the roll of the machine go around you. The TSA officer is motioning for you to come out. They stop you and they swab your hands, and you get nervous if something came up, something that's wrong. You continue about your way, hurrying to get your shoes on and your belt and your jacket and the things in your pocket and your electronics back in your bag, trying to get out of the way as there's a sense of hecticness and chaos of getting through security. You finally get past there and you pull out your boarding pass to look at what gate you're at, making your way, reading the signs to get to the correct letter and number gates. You make it there. They're not boarding yet. You sit down, you make sure your phone is plugged in and charging. You text the last of the people that you need to text. And then you hear the flight attendant coming over. Boarding priority zones. A. Zone B. Zone C. You get up during your zone, you get in line, the line is big, people crowd, it's loud. You walk through the line, you get up to the flight attendant, you show your ID and your boarding pass, and you go down the walkway to the plane, getting on the plane, thinking to yourself, maybe I should turn around. Maybe now is the time. You find your seat, you're about in the middle of the plane. You're in the seats right before the emergency exit. You have seat A, the aisle A. You sigh relief. You sit down. You get your bag underneath your seat. You hope to yourself that you have enough stuff on your phone. People are shuffling around and leaning on you as they put their things away. And the flight attendant tells people to hurry up. And then finally someone comes up to you and they say, I think you're on my seat. I have the aisle seat. And you get your heart racing, you take out your boarding pass, and you're like, no, I have A. And the flight attendant comes over, and rest assured, everything gets sorted out. And you let the people that are in seat B and C get in, and they shuffle and they get their stuff around and they kind of try to talk to you. So you put your headphones in, and then everyone is seated and the flight attendant goes over the safety. This is how you put your seatbelt on, the oxygen, put it on yourself first, the life vest, the floating devices, the extra rafts, what would happen, the responsibility of that emergency, exits that are behind you. And then they tell you to put all your devices in airplane mode. And you do. And then the airplane starts to taxi down the runway. The weather as well. The flight about be 3 or 4 hours to North Carolina. And then the plane starts to pick up speed. It's hot and it's stuffy and the seat isn't comfortable and there's not enough room for your legs. And then it starts to take off and the whole plane rattles and you think to yourself, there's no turning back now, but how happy you'll be and how glad you'll be to see those really important people in your life, like your sister. And you deal with it gaining altitude and shaking and rocking back and forth. And finally, the airplane makes altitude and it starts to smooth out. And they say, you can go ahead and take your devices off of airplane mode. And so you do. And you find that you recorded all the things that you needed onto your phone, and you watch your favorite movie and you listen to your favorite music, and your stomach doesn't really bother you too much. But if it did, it's okay because you have the aisle seat. And as you enter North Carolina, the fasten seatbelt sign comes back on. The pilot comes over, tells you what the weather is. The flight attendant says, prepare to land, put all your stuff away, stow your tray, stow your items. And you do. And as you make your descent, the airplane shakes, and you think to yourself, oh, it will be so great when this is over. And it hits the ground hard and jolts you. And that feeling of your stomach going up and down comes back, the same feeling of when the plane had taken off. And now the plane has landed, and everybody, the chaos is back, pushing and trying to get out the doors. Everybody wants off the hot, stuffy airplane. And you just wait. And eventually you get off the airplane and you take the little ramp that bounces as you step. People all around you, and you make your way out of the airplane, and now you are home. And you've survived this 3-4 hour airplane ride. And it's over.